Hey friends, we're gonna get outside as quickly as possible today. It is the last day of our heat wave. It's gonna get up to 87 degrees today, and it's supposed to get to 80 at noon. So I have a short window this morning where I'm hoping that I can get out and plant as much as possible. I'm also gonna take these bulbs and other things outside with me in case I'm able to plant those as well. But yeah, we're gonna speed plant my entire garden basically. Okay, so real quick, I want to show you the awesome root development on these cabbages. Nice and healthy white roots on these little guys. We've got 12 tomatoes, regular slicing tomatoes planted over in this bed, and in the bed behind me I just planted 4 cherry tomatoes. I think that's all the tomatoes that I know for certain on where I'm going to put them, so that's all the tomatoes that I'm going to plant today. I still need to figure out where I'm going to put the tomatillos, and my dad's going to give me San Marzano tomatoes, which I'm going to put again, line up on the sides of the raised bed and sort of build like a temporary trellis for them. So those will be planted in ground again because they did really well in ground last year. There is not a lot of time for indecision, so I have decided that I'm going to put my lilies along the fence here and just put all 10 of them right along the fence real quick. I noticed while I was digging in the lily bulbs that this is totally clay soil. It's not an area of the garden where I've dug in compost or amended it with peat moss to help with drainage. So I'm gonna rake the mulch back from the fence line about maybe 6 inches to a foot, and I'm gonna add peat moss and compost, and I'm gonna break up the soil, and then I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna plant the lilies. And since I'm raking up and digging in this soil, I might also put in some Acidanthera, some peacock orchid, in amongst the lilies, and that'll be 2 birds, 1 stone. So I've been soaking this alocasia bulb for a minute, and I think I'm just gonna put the alocasia in my green pot. this pot right here that is currently housing my seltzer and my solar panel. So I think I'm going to put the alocasia right in here. You see the little spider on my seltzer can? It's a jumping spider. I think he will be much happier on this tulip. So it's about 11:30 and we're coming up on the 12 o'clock deadline of when it's going to hit 80 degrees and it's going to be too hot. I've taken out the dahlias so that I can look at them to see if we can plant some. I can't quite tell. I think a lot of these have broken necks, which is really makes the whole thing useless when the tubers break off. As long as they're still, I think, an eye on these, it'll be okay. I'm not confident. This one looks okay. I see some eyes. Okay, this one's good. There's an eye. There's an eye right there. I might be able to like cut that in half maybe, since there's two eyes on that one that I can clearly see, and maybe just prune off all these tubers that aren't connected. So sad. I'm going to leave this one good tuber and cut off all of the bad tubers. Leaving the rest. Oh, this one looks no good actually. Okay, there it is after trimming. So we had a lot of extra, what do you want to call it? There we go. What are the strawberries? We had a lot of extra tubers left over, which is a shame. After we cut off all of the broken ones, I will show you what that looks like. I was very disappointed, but you can't keep them on when the necks are broken like that, or when the tubers are broken off from the main crown like that. They won't do anything. They'll just rot in the ground. So there's no point. You can eat them. I'm not eating them. But just saying that. If you're a no waste person, I'm going to compost them. That's my version of no waste for these. I'm not going to eat them, but people do. Holy shit, I just saw the biggest woolly bear caterpillar ever. Come take a look. That guy is at least 2 inches. Usually they're only an inch. Look how big he is. Oh. He's right there. And he's a cutie. Dull. Okay, my apologies in advance. Everything is so loud right now. We've got mowers out and trees being cut and all that good stuff. I went to go dump out a bag of compost that I had, and it was filled with ants, so that was it for me. I've decided that I have tried my best today and I'm done. It's 84 degrees, it's 1 o'clock. I did manage to get the hellebores planted, or hellebores planted. I got these put into pots. So these are potted up. I still need to pot up those dahlia tubers, but again, I don't really feel like getting covered in ants. I don't know if you can see them scurrying about, but we'll see what remains. I think they settled back into the compost. One little ant. I got them all in my boots and everything, and forget it. Yeah, just forget it. So that's it for me today, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me today. We got peppers planted, we've got cabbage planted, I got those lilies and peacock orchid planted. We tried to get the dahlias planted, but we did get the hellebores potted up. So I'm still gonna call it a success. Didn't get to plant the entire garden. Didn't think we would, but that's okay. We'll do more tomorrow. Catch you then.